Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Allen. This is NFL Weekly, the show where I recap the stuff that happened last week and then look ahead to some of the stuff that's going to happen in the future. And the first thing I want to talk about is the crazy game between the Lions and the Falcons playing in another country. The Falcons were up 21-0 and somehow they managed to lose 22-21. Partly because the Lions, they missed a field goal that would have won the game, but because of a penalty for delay of game, they ended up being forced to replay the down, and this time they made it come away with a win. And then at the same time though, you have Steve Smith, who after Andy Dalton snuck it in at the goal line to give the Bengals the lead, the Ravens came back and Smith, he catches a pass, takes it to the end zone, touchdown, gives them the lead, but he only caught the pass because of an offensive interference penalty, which ended up calling it back. I mean, he took the defender and just shoved him to the ground. It was pretty blatant. And then, one of the biggest games of the entire week, you had Big Ben becoming the first QB in NFL history to throw for 500 yards in 2 straight games, as he and Luck had a shootout in what was either the best QB performance ever or the 2 worst defenses on the face of the planet. Either way, Big Ben had 6 touchdowns. That's a lot. And then you've got the Seahawks, who finally got a win, but damn, they cut it close. Wow. This team just doesn't look like we thought they would. This isn't the team that won the Super Bowl. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with them. I still feel like they've got a decent chance of getting at least into the playoffs, but I'm losing faith in their ability to repeat. And then you've got the Raiders, who lost again. I'm taking bets. Who says they go winless this season? You've also got the Monday night game in which the Cowboys lost, but who cares? You've also got DeMarco Murray, who once again went over 100 yards. Every single game this season he has had over 100 yards, which is why he's also over 1,000 yards for the season already, and they haven't even had their bye week yet. I'm saying it now. DeMarco Murray deserves to be MVP. At the end of the day, he probably won't get it, but he deserves the recognition for it. He is just fucking having an amazing season. Balls out. And then, like I said, he hasn't even had the bye week yet, so he'll have some time to rest up his legs and then go training again for the second half of the season. I'm taking bets. How many people says he gets to 2,000? I'm going to say it now. DeMarco Murray getting 2,000 this season, unless he gets hurt, because he does that a lot. And then, for the fantasy corner, well, I'm just going to plead the fifth this week. Because I still won my game, but fantasy is really just a crapshoot right now. I mean, you just never know. My halfbacks completely flamed out again, but somehow I had like 3 different receivers score 30 points. It's amazing. I'm actually first in my league with a 7-1 record, but that's only because I've scored over 800 points in my league, and there's like 3 other people who have scored 700, and there's like 1 or 2 people who are still only at 500. But I also lead the league in points against me, so I've technically had the toughest schedule. I just felt like bragging about that. It has nothing to do with you. Just that I have the toughest schedule in my league, and yet I'm still winning every game. I just felt like mentioning that. I don't know how the fuck it's happening. But if you want some advice, I don't know, there's maybe put in a waiver request for Denard Robinson. You know, I mean, Shoelace, I loved him back in Michigan. I kind of forgot about him. I didn't even realize he was in the NFL. But he's had 2 straight games getting over 100 yards. And he's listed, at least in my league, as wide receiver and running back. So it gives you options. You can put him in at wide receiver and he'll get you 100 rushing yards. Hey, it's 10 points either way. And then, looking ahead to next week, you've got a lot of teams on bye weeks. So, speaking of fantasy football, yeah, there are some people who this could devastate your team if you didn't plan this right. Because that's one of the keys in drafting players. Try to make sure you don't get 10 people with the same bye week. You've got the Falcons, the Bills, the Bears, the Lions, the Packers, and the Titans, who are all sitting out this week. On the Thursday night game, you've got the Saints at the Panthers. It's a division rivalry with some of the most exciting QBs in the game. It might be fun to watch. Then on Sunday, the 1 o'clock games, you've got Eagles at Texans, one of the most explosive offenses in the league, versus one of the top defenses. This should be fun and exciting. The 4 o'clock games, obviously the first matchup is Broncos at Patriots. It's a rematch of last year's AFC Championship between two Hall of Fame QBs playing at the top of their game. The Patriots last week, and the week before that, they're finally starting to look like the Patriots again, and they're actually scary once again. And then the Sunday night game, you got the Ravens at the Steelers. Now, neither of these teams, the Steelers, they're starting to look a lot better. The Ravens, still have my doubts. But usually when these two teams play each other, it ends up being a lot of blood. So I usually enjoy this. Then on Monday night, you got the Colts at the Giants. And, it's the only game on. What are you going to do? So that's it for this week. Tune in next week for another all-new edition of NFL Weekly. But until then, this has been The Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle. And if you're interested in basketball, the NBA season started today. And, technically yesterday, because it's 1 in the morning now. But I'm going to cover that as well. As of right now, I'm going to do my NBA weeklies on Saturday mornings. I'll film them Saturday mornings. They'll probably be up by the afternoon at the latest.